think another one that
We're keeping that. What just happened?
I don't know.
Did you just choke on air?
Did you poison me?
Not to your knowledge.
Podcast number 2.
I'm kind of glad we're done with the first one.
Why?
Did you see how awkward I was?
You're awkward every day.
That's true, but this was a whole other level. No. I feel like I popped my podcast cherry, and maybe now I'm ready to go.
We shall see.
Fingers crossed.
Today, we got something a little different. We're going with the couples bracket. March Madness is around the corner. I hope you have your brackets filled out.
Hope you're ready to say goodbye to your boyfriend for the foreseeable future.
As long as you know it.
That's not what's going to be on the TV.
Okay, try to get the remote.
We have so many reality shows that are coming back this week.
You do. I'm not watching any of them. Last week, we got 24 5-star reviews. But we can do better this week. When I check the Spotify ratings, I want to see 55-star ratings. YouTube, we got 100 likes. I need 200 likes.
Shoot for the stars. Just a little reminder, in case you forgot or in case you're new here, we post every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Central on YouTube. You can find the video format, and anywhere you get your podcasts, you can find the audio format.
Time for the brackets. We have positives and negatives for a relationship.
There's positives?
Very few. That's why I only populated 8 here.
I mean, I understand why there's not a lot for you, but I mean, there's a lot of reasons to be in a relationship with me.
You have fooled people into thinking this, yes. They don't know the real you.
Wow. Okay. Let's see if even being in a relationship is a possibility after this.
The positive bracket is first. First matchup, we got splitting the chores versus splitting the expenses.
That's a good one.
Thoughts?
Let's talk them out first.
Okay. Expenses. Do you think a couple should share expenses?
I think this is a controversial one, right? Because some people think you should have a joint checking account. All the money goes in, you just pay the bills from that. We're not like that.
Would you ever be like that?
I think it makes sense if you want to have a joint account for joint bills. If you want to pull rent from that, groceries from that, I think that could make sense. But I gotta stand on business when it comes to having my separate account for my expenses.
So you wouldn't?
Not solely a joint account.
I would consider both. Obviously, right now we have separate accounts. Thank the heavens. I've seen how many Amazon packages come weekly.
But that shouldn't be your money. Like, you shouldn't have to put your money towards my Amazon purchases.
I fear that if we don't, you're going to go bankrupt. So out of preservation, we might have to.
Well, if we get to that point, I'll just start using your credit card.
You already do. What about the chores side? Because this is something we actively do.
You share in chores?
What are you saying? We both wash clothes. We both wash the dishes. We take care of the house collectively.
I'm kidding. Take a breath.
Yeah, calm down.
Actually, I feel like we have the opposite problem of couples. We actually battle who gets to fold the clothes, who puts the dishes up.
This is true.
That's just weird.
So for the bracket's sake, I think I have my answer.
I think I have mine too.
What's yours?
No, you go first.
Expenses.
Same.
You have 50% off on anything. Buy a couch, 50% off. Go on a trip, 50% off.
Buy food, if I use your credit card, it's 100% off.
Not funny.
Neither is that fake laugh. Next matchup, having a built-in +1 to do activities with, or security.
I naturally gravitate towards one, but let's talk it out.
I feel like I know which one you gravitate towards.
Gravitates.
I said what I said. Let it happen.
Indefinite +1. You get invited to a wedding. You have a date. You get on the dance floor, you got a dance partner.
When are you getting on the dance floor?
Frequently.
I don't have a built-in dance buddy for that one.
You go to the tennis courts, you got somebody on the other side of the net.
That you can yell at.
I mean, you're just bad at tennis.
Blasphemy.
For a security side, what are we talking? Financial security? Security of being in a relationship that fulfills you?
I think the second one. For me especially, I come with a lot of insecurities. You may or may not already know that. It helps to have a long-term partner that can be like a built-in compliment generator.
That's how you think of me.
I just need you to contradict whatever the mirror is telling me, basically.
That's what I attempt to do, but then in my attempts, I somehow make you more insecure.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. This one is clear cut for me.
Okay, what you got?
Indefinite +1. You're moving on. Agreed?
Apprehensively, sure.
Next one, we have the ultimate comparison. Physical versus emotional. Sex versus communication, venting partner, etc.
Why am I not surprised that to you physical only means sex?
Sex and adjacent things.
Sex and you're my built-in cuddle buddy.
I'll take it.
Don't lie, you know you love snuggling.
Overrated.
Okay, eye roll. Let's see. Communication. I love that I have somebody that I can always vent to, and you can't go anywhere.
And I love every bit of that as well. I don't get tired of hearing the same stories, or she did this, or he did that. There's only so many things that can happen.
I mean, I also fill you in on all the happenings of my reality TV shows, so that keeps it new and interesting for you.
Except it's, again, very repeated. This guy cheated. This lady hit this lady. Not compelling.
I just want the record to show that he clearly pays attention when learning about Scandival.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
You won't get fined?
You don't know that?
What do you mean?
Oh, you've never heard that?
What?
See, pop culture, right over her head.
What is it from?
Marshawn Lynch. You don't know who he is, though. You don't know sports. I forgot.
I guess maybe when you vent about sports, it doesn't stick as much.
Exactly. But, okay, so backstory. Marshawn Lynch, in his post-game interviews, he didn't want to talk to the media. He would, instead of answering the actual questions that he received, he would just say, I'm just here so I won't get fined. Repeat that over and over and over and over.
Oh, so your mantra in life.
Yes. The venting, that's for you. The communication, that's for me. You're basically my test dummy.
I know you didn't just on live podcast call me a dummy.
You're not a dummy, but I try out all of my communication styles on you.
You have more than one communication style? I thought I was just caveman grunts.
That's what I do? What's that mean?
I'm tired of you. Stop talking.
What's that?
I want physical intimacy.
What's that?
You're making fun of me. I nailed it, huh?
Yeah, that was spot on.
I get what you're saying, though. I do feel like it's really hard to find communication styles that mesh well when you're melding two completely different people.
Your communication style is very foreign to me. It's one that doesn't communicate, that relies on inference and guesswork a lot, whereas I like things plainly put on the table.
I mean, if my tears are plainly on the table, that's not pretty clear, is it?
You'll say I'm fine, and that means we'll find out what I actually am.
It means you made me unfine. Figure it out.
The figure it out is so toxic.
We've gotten better at it, though, and I do agree. I think having somebody that you can find your own new language with is really important and very cool.
Now on the other side, physical intimacy. What are the pros and the cons?
I live to be close to you and get under your skin as close as I can.
Now, I want to see if this is normal. Guys, chime in. Girls, chime in. She does this thing where she actually goes under my clothes and tells me that she wants to be under my skin. Now, I don't know how to feel about that. Please confirm for me that is normal activity.
I don't know how to explain it. It's like, you know when you see a really cute puppy or dog and you're like, oh my gosh, I just want to squeeze it because it's so cute? It's kind of like that. Like, I cannot get close enough to you. So sometimes I just got to boa constrictor you, you know?
Okay, so question for the day. Does she just want to murder puppies? Or does she actually like to squeeze things that she's fond of?
What are you saying? I love puppies. I would never actually squeeze them to death. It's just a feeling you get.
A feeling I don't share. All right, so what's advancing? Communication or intimacy?
I don't know what to do here because I feel like the only answer for you is sex.
Do you know me? That is not my MO.
You're the one that said it.
I actually side with the communication side.
Good.
That is the most important aspect of a relationship to me.
Yeah. I feel like the intimacy is a bonus, but if you don't have that communication, you're not getting anywhere.
And it's taken me a long time to get out all the bad habits of your communication, but we're starting to get somewhere. And it's been nice.
I really love how you try to like rewrite history on these podcasts. It's exciting for me. Not at all infuriating.
Ditto.
This next matchup is more of a me versus you matchup. Having that built-in period partner versus
An unlimited supply of beauty supplies.
like a built-in Ulta.
Basically, you have all the free samples. You have any cleanser I want, any lotion I want. If I need an oil, if I need a mask, you have it all.
I just help you get your shit right. And for me, having somebody that can get me my cookies, my heating pad, microwave my little microwavable owl when I have those cramps.
To be transparent, we're in period week. We're approaching period week. And I'm not looking forward to it. My normal workload is busy. My period week workload is 3 times the amount of work.
Let's hear the collective sympathy for you. Oh, sorry. That's just silence. I feel so sorry for you that things get rough during period week.
Guys, they just don't know.
Okay, so would you rather have your insides bleeding, being twisted, like you're squeezing a lemon, headache, nausea, fatigue? I'm basically a walking Pepto-Bismol commercial. You want to switch places?
Piece of cake. Guys, if we had periods, we would be babies. I'm not gonna lie. I can't do it. I can't do it. I was gonna play around. I can't do it. None of that shit sounds fun. I don't want any part of that. I'll take the weird looks in the tampon aisle in Target. I'll take the numerous requests for weird foods. Give me my Midol. I'll take it.
You'll accept the built-in hatred that I have for you that entire week?
Yeah, and that has already begun.
I'm glad that you switched up because you knew there were receipts out there. You have, in fact, done a period cramp simulator, and it did not go well.
Worse than I thought.
Would you like to tell the people that haven't seen it how far you got?
The top level. And I think I sustained it for about 2 hours.
Okay, so if the top level means halfway, sure. And if sustained it for a couple hours means that you ripped it off running and crying, sure. Yeah.
She likes to exaggerate, but
Yeah.
somewhere in between there's the truth.
I'm the one that exaggerates. I think you know which one has to advance here.
As much as I would like to try and present my case here, I just can't.
It's a matter of life and death. Period partner for the win.
All right, on to the second round.
Let's do it.
The final 4. First matchup, sharing expenses, perpetual +1.
I don't know on this one.
We're getting into the nitty gritty now.
We're getting into the North Carolina versus Purdue here.
Whoa, look at you.
Yeah, see, I do listen when you vent about sports facts.
All right, so you got two of the number one seeds. Mm-hmm. What are the other two?
Houston.
Ooh.
You thought it would be Kansas, but it wasn't.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you said Kansas.
Blasphemy.
And...
Wow, look at her. I was trying to give her props. She messed up.
Hey, 3 out of 4 is passing.
You missed the number one team and the team that won the championship from last year.
Oh, I know.
Who?
UConn.
There you go.
Shame. All right.
Side note, though. Who do you have winning your bracket?
I haven't done my bracket yet. Obviously, I wait until the last minute.
Noob.
Who do you have winning?
UConn.
Okay, so that's who I have winning. Thanks for helping me fill out my bracket.
But no, so I would side towards the expenses side of this.
You would side towards the expenses side?
All right, noted. Anytime you mess up now, I'm not letting it slide.
Oh, that's just going to keep you busy, but okay.
I love having my tennis partner, but I think I have to go with the 50% discount.
So you're just here for the money?
Basically.
You're in for a rude awakening because that money is running out. It's about to be 100% you.
Money or lack thereof, yes.
I get what you're saying. I don't know. Is that a reason to appreciate a relationship that you can split expenses?
You got a point.
I would say having the built-in partner.
Yeah. There's nothing more lonely than going to a movie on your own.
Although, counterpoint. Dang
it. Look at you, and I'm not letting it slide.
Counterpoint is if you are in a relationship, sometimes it's nice to go to a movie by yourself every once in a while.
You got a point there. We should. Alone time is a big one.
Yeah. We didn't include that.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really.
Not a benefit of being in a relationship.
No. It's a necessity to being in a relationship.
Yeah. Maintenance.
Life or death. Okay, so I think we agree. What is advancing is the built-in +1.
Our first finalist.
All right, on to the next.
All right, on to the next. I'm Cornball McGoads.
They don't know that you call me McGoads, and now people are going to call me McGoads.
Codes McGoads.
Let's leave that one in 2013, shall we? Last Final Four matchup. Communication versus having a period partner.
You are very biased.
No, you don't give me enough credit. I think this is a no-brainer. While it's nice to have you to do things for me while I'm on my period, communication is the ultimate.
Of course.
Except for when I get tired of talking to you, that is.
Which is often.
Especially this week.
This week, if I say hi, I'm liable to get slapped.
Hey, no uterus, no complaining.
I have sympathy periods, you know.
Oh my gosh.
I promise you I do. Mm-hmm. My cramps are acting up right now.
I'll give you some cramps. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You want a tampon?
I think I already got one, but...
It's too far.
All right. Last finalist, communication. The final show-off for positives of being in a relationship. Communication versus +1.
I mean, again, I think this is pretty obvious.
You think? This is pretty close for me. Because I don't really like communicating with you that much.
Why you lie?
It's like communicating with a wall.
It's like communicating with a robot. You're purely logical. No emotion.
You're like communicating with a dog.
At least I'm lovable.
What was that?
I hate you. I was thinking, and then I stopped thinking.
You make so many weird noises throughout the day.
My brain doesn't know how to operate sometimes. It just like does things without conferring with me.
So when you don't know what to say, it just outputs an
Yeah, it's like buffering.
So it's like You know when AOL used to make noises when it's trying to connect to the internet?
Uh-huh. We got that dial-up situation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't advanced to the... What's the fast Wi-Fi? What is that? What's
Fiber. Fiber optic.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. See,
Explain what fiber optic is.
I don't even know what it is. I'm still on dial-up. Back to the bracket. Who is our winner?
I think we're on different sides, but at the count of 3, we're going to say our choice.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Communication. All right.
See?
Hey.
You act like we're not compatible.
Yeah, you're right.
We're here. I'm inside your head.
And that's something I want to talk about.
Side note.
Side note. Why do all couples, after a certain amount of years, think the exact same? You will say something that I was thinking that I was about to say.
Or we'll say the exact same thing at the exact same time.
Mind meld.
We're kind of an obnoxious couple, actually. Like those couples that always like, we finish each other's sentences.
No, I would never say that.
But we actually do.
I don't like it, though. We're turning into one human being down there.
I said I wanted to get closer. I'm making it happen.
Now it's time for the negative Nancy's. All the negatives of being in a relationship.
Oof.
First up, the societal expectations of a couple versus the expectations of your partner.
Okay, let's break it down for them. In terms of societal expectations, there's so much pressure to do things on a certain timeline. Have kids at a certain time, get married at a certain time. Especially for us, it's been 13 years.
Yeah. First off, let's take a side note. Get your arm from behind me. I don't like this. You trying to emasculate
Am I
me.
taking away your manpower? It's that fragile.
You're making me feel little. I don't like that.
You don't like being the little spoon?
No. I think when you left out is very us specific. And any other interracial couples I'm sure can relate as well. There is a lot that comes with being with someone from a different culture.
Yeah.
Externally and internally.
Yeah. There's a lot of learning and extra steps that have to be done that, I mean, to be honest, wouldn't be done if you were with somebody of the same race.
And then while you're out in public, everybody's not a supporter of it.
That's
so
true.
You'll get things said to you. You'll get looks.
People love to stare. And you know what? I'm just going to start staring back.
I mean, that's basically what I do. Just like this.
Give them a nice up and down.
Yeah.
What's good?
I would say the expectations of your partner are equally damning.
Yeah. Especially, I feel like I was set up for failure going into relationships.
How come?
Everything was romanticized, right? Like everything is supposed to be how it is in these fairy tales and these movies and everything like that. And that's not realistic.
Yeah, I think we adopted a more realistic form of love in the last couple of years where it's not romanticized. It's not fantasized. Mm-hmm. It's more realistic.
I think that paves the way for a depth that isn't there when you have these like very rosy, unrealistic expectations.
Like one of the things in particular that we've latched onto recently is the idea of sacrifice. Mm-hmm. And whether or not you should actively make sacrifices for your partner, even if it makes you feel a negative way. Mm-hmm. A romanticized version of love would make you think that you need to make sacrifices for your partner. Mm-hmm. A realistic way of looking at that would require more communication.
Yeah.
Why do you care about this? Why do you need this from me? Why does this not work for me? Where's the middle ground? And then we find something that works for the both of us.
Right. I think it's more about compromise than sacrifice. And this might be controversial. People probably aren't going to agree with us. But I think if you go into it thinking that the person that you're with has to automatically sacrifice just because something is important to you, you're just building in resentment.
And you may have unrealistic expectations that you're trying to drive someone towards.
Right.
So if you're sacrificing something that's unreasonable to ask, I don't know if that's the best formula for a relationship.
I think it just, again, all comes down to communicating your needs and your wants and then coming to something that works for the relationship And that's the other big piece. Not focusing just on what works for you as an individual, but putting the relationship at the forefront.
I would also say don't compare to other relationships also, because it's not a uniform equation.
Right.
Everybody's equation is going to be different. Whatever works for you is what uniquely works for you.
Yeah. And I think I wouldn't say we have everything figured out, but I would definitely say that we've cracked more of the code when it comes to finding a way to make us both happy and fulfilled in the relationship.
We've come a long way over the years, yeah.
I mean, we started at 16, 17, so we definitely had a long way to go.
Yeah.
So who advances here? The worst of the worst.
I'm torn. I think for me, the expectations from society is just one that's too far.
Yeah, too much pressure. So I would say that one for sure is worse.
There's our winner. This next one, it's time for a showdown.
Me versus you.
Boy annoyances versus girl annoyances.
You have a lot.
First one, why do you shower in hell?
Why do you shower in Antarctica?
I don't though. I have normal temperatured water. You max out the heat.
If I go in there and I start shivering, that's the wrong temperature.
If it's not max, you're shivering.
Exactly.
That's unreasonable.
You got some thin skin.
What are some girl annoyances?
Man, where do I start? The toilet is a big one. I don't love sitting down in your piss.
You know I'm an active wiper.
That sounded wrong. You mean of the toilet seat.
Of course. What do you think? I'm wiping you?
No.
I don't like lifting the toilet seat.
Which I actually enjoy. That's like the one normal boy thing that you don't actually do.
Now it's story time.
Oh boy.
This is the day that I learned to not raise the toilet seat.
What are you about to say?
Once upon a time, James goes into the bathroom. He's going to pee. He lifts the toilet seat. What the hell is that at the front of the toilet?
I don't know.
What do you think it was?
I don't know. This was not cleared by me. I don't know what you're about to say.
Do you want me to say? It pertains to you.
I don't think you need to be graphic with it.
It was a red substance.
Well, I mean, shit happens.
That scared me, and I never lift the toilet seat anymore.
Okay, don't look in the trash can then either.
Too late.
Other story time. Do you remember when you pulled a used tampon out and said, "Hey, why'd you throw away this new tampon?"
I didn't know that you dispose of them in our trash.
You didn't know that. No, it was the applicator that was back in the bag. And you said, "Why is this in the trash can?" Because you didn't realize that the applicator goes in the trash can.
But you also dispose of your tampons in toilet paper in our trash can.
No, I don't. That's pads.
So what do you do with the tampons?
I flush it.
You're not supposed to do that. I'm learning so much today.
I don't want to touch it.
Okay, so I know why I have to unclog the toilet every 1 month.
Be honest. You know why you have to unclog the toilet.
Yeah, not me.
You flush the toilet scrubber heads.
No.
Don't lie. I got you.
Boy.
Okay, you did it once, but still. It was enough to have maintenance come out.
Hey, we pay for that.
Okay. I think we've made it clear that there's a lot of boy annoyances, right? That's the gist of that conversation?
I haven't even gotten started yet.
Okay, well, let's hear what you got.
Why do you have to be so organized?
Why do you have to be so unorganized?
We have to have a set schedule or you're stressed. We have to have every garment of clothing where it goes or you're nagging.
Oh, okay. So you have a problem with being a grown-up.
If I put my coat on the chair in the kitchen for an hour, why is that a big deal?
Okay. If it was truly in the chair for an hour, not a problem. But you don't leave it there for an hour. You leave it there for days. And the only way that it gets put up is because of me.
Let me ask you a question. When we get home and I put it on the chair and you immediately nag at me, it's not about duration. It's just about it being there.
I don't even nag at you anymore. I just grab it and put it up for you because I know you won't.
Sure. I guess you just overlook all the nags then. Because you still do it.
I guess you just overlook all the times that I just put your shit up for you like I'm your mom.
What about the plans? Why do we have to have plans for everything?
Some things you have to have plans for. You love doing everything last minute, which means that we miss out on things.
We don't miss out on anything important.
Right, because all you want to do is stay home.
I'm not opposed.
You don't need plans for that.
I'll plan a Cubs game.
But you won't get the tickets until we're already there.
That's the best deals. Everybody knows.
Fine, I'll continue with mine. You like to give me a hard time about my hair. But let's talk about your hair. You shave in the bathroom, immediately after I clean. And I mean immediately. It's like you think that 1 + 1 = 2, Cody cleaned, time to shave. 2, you think that you clean it up afterwards. And that's the really cute part. And I have never told you this before. You do a terrible job. I'm finding little hairs in my toothbrush all over the place.
You're a liar.
I am not.
You found a hair in the toothbrush.
I have.
When?
Not recently, but I have.
When?
You have them all
10
over
years
the
ago?
place. No, you have them all over the place. I don't know what kind of wiping job you do, but I hope you do a better one when you're on the toilet.
Okay, so do me a favor. And we'll fast forward this for you podcasters. Go in there, since I shaved today, go in there and see if I didn't do an immaculate job. Because I already know I did.
You're about to get blasted.
Give commentary while you're in there.
Oh, I will.
What do you see?
Hair.
Liar.
Hair.
Liar. Don't believe this.
Hair.
Fake news.
They're all over the place.
Okay.
Did you use my towel? Why does my towel have hairs in it?
I may have used it.
Looks like I'm going to have to clean again. Who's advancing?
I think whoever wears the pants should advance.
I agree. So boy annoyances it is.
Wrong. Girl annoyances. Say it.
No.
Say it.
No.
Why are you putting up a front for the camera?
Why are you acting like I don't control things, especially this week?
You control everything else. Give me this one.
Only if you get me a shake from Chick-fil-A tomorrow.
Small.
There's no small, so okay.
Medium.
They have one size.
Fine.
I win.
You win, but what's going through?
I win in life.
Girl annoyances going through.
Fine.
Our next first round matchup. Insecurities versus dependency. I already know what I want to vote.
Why do I feel like you made these categories just based off of me?
Are you guilty of both of these?
You just took Cody and put her into 2 categories and said, okay, we're good.
What do you think?
This is tough. I have a lot of insecurities. Do you have insecurities?
A couple.
What are they? I've never met them.
I mean, I don't love that I'm balding. So I do wear this hat often, if you've noticed.
Oh, they've noticed. I guess.
That's one.
Okay. But you're not really insecure about it.
Not insecure. I just don't like it.
I got plenty of insecurities. I don't like my teeth. I don't like my face.
Let's not.
I don't
go
like
down
my body.
This is a dangerous hill.
I don't know if you love me.
This is just highlighting why my pick is very, very solid.
People on TikTok say you don't love me.
I mean, are they right? I'm playing. Everybody on TikTok. Yeah.
See, you think you're funny, and this is why they think you don't. I'm so done with you.
I'm playing. I love you. I could love you more if you said I love you back.
We'll see how you act in the next few days. Okay, so then dependency. This is hard. I mean, we spend literally 24/7 together. How am I not going to be dependent on you?
I think any relationship has some level of dependency.
Yeah.
It's just that you have gotten to a place where you rely on Big Spoon
Oh my gosh.
for every single positive thing that happens in your life.
Okay, let's do a recap of yesterday.
Okay.
You needed to find a cord, right, for your computer.
Yeah.
You spent probably an hour searching around the apartment.
An hour.
I told you exactly where it was. You still couldn't find it. And then when you finally employed me to help you, I walked straight over to the basket, pulled it out, and showed it to you.
Yes, you are useful for finding things. Do you want a pat on the back?
Finding things, putting up all of your stuff, getting stains out of your clothes.
You have a few uses. You're right. Now, let me not even get into the thousands of things that I provide for you.
Thousands.
I'm just kidding.
Cute.
But like I was saying, I do think every couple has a level of dependency, a healthy level too,
Yeah.
that I'm okay with. So for me, this is a clear winner or loser, however you look at it. Insecurities is a negative to a relationship.
That's fair. Although I want to add one side note to dependency
Okay.
that I think is a me thing.
All right.
Do you ever think about how much easier it would be if you just never had somebody that you loved? Because then you never have to lose them.
I mean, it's a very sad ending to this one, but yes.
That's why I get to die first, okay?
I don't want that.
I'm not going to do it after you, so nope. But I agree. Insecurities, I think, is far worse and probably has more damage to the relationship.
Yeah.
Our last matchup in the first round, compromising versus fighting.
Now, I don't like either. Especially with you, compromising tends to be I meet you 90-10 maybe. There's no 50-50 that exists.
I thought you were supposed to be the one that's good at math in this relationship.
I am that.
Okay, well this must be boy math then, because this makes no sense.
Fighting is just obvious.
Yeah, I don't even know how this is a matchup. This is like I'm going to try to do some good sports here. This is like a Houston versus McNeese matchup.
Whoa.
I nailed it, huh?
No. Because I got McNeese winning in the first round. Upset alert.
You realize you just keep filling out my bracket for me, right? But I feel like fighting can be so toxic. In some ways, it's good. I think if you say that you never fight in your relationship, that's not necessarily a green flag.
There's a healthy amount of fights that you have to get to in order to gain understanding towards one another, I think.
And a healthy way to fight.
Yeah. Like, for example, when you get to throwing chairs around.
Throwing chairs around.
Like, picking up dumbbells and launching them at me. It's a little too much. Like,
when you get to punching holes in the wall.
no, I'd say we do have very healthy fights.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that in the past we haven't had more negative ones.
We've raised our voices a time or two.
Yeah.
Said some words.
I'm glad she said it.
I'm talking about you.
But it's necessary.
Yeah. I think we get a credit, like a tax credit. We get a relationship credit because we've been together since we were 16 and 17 years old. There's a lot of growth that happens between those times and a lot of immaturity.
Yeah.
That you got to work out. So we get a credit.
Indeed. I would say fighting.
For sure.
Easily advancing. On to the semifinals. First up, societal expectations versus girl annoyances.
I mean, I'm going to leave this one up to you because I think it works itself out. But let's hear what you've got to say.
Where shall I go next? The temperature battle.
You already did the temperature battle.
The temperature battle in relations to the air temperature.
I just put it on what it should be on.
We sleep in Antarctica.
Okay, and whose fault is that? Let's really work out the math here. Do you realize how hot you are when you sleep and how that radiates throughout the entire bed?
But then when you get up and you finish eating breakfast, what do you do every day?
I make a cocoon out of the blankets and get my heating pad.
To the point where you can't even see you. You have one eyeball sticking out so you can see the TV. That's it.
That's what blankets and heating pads were made for. Okay, would you not rather be cold in the apartment and just bulk up than be hot?
No.
With your sweating ass, you should.
I don't want to be either. I try to achieve a middle point.
Do you?
You're either extremely cold or extremely hot. There's no in between.
And you just put it on grandpa temperature. There's no moving. You come out here and put it on 74 heat.
I do not do 74.
You,
I do 72.
you know, these podcasts are teaching me that you lie. That's why your nose comes to a point at the end.
Question for the audience. What is the ideal indoor temperature? For night and for day, because I think they should be different. Nighttime, 68. Daytime, 72.
70.
72.
You're adding an extra word. It's just 70. Yeah.
I added that for a reason.
Okay, moving on. I think it's clear that the winner here is societal expectations on a relationship.
Not even close.
As much as I pick on you and make jokes about the fact that we're 13 years in and you haven't proposed, we've talked about it. We know why we haven't. I need people to shut up. It's okay that we're not married. It's not going to change our relationship all that much.
It's also okay that you're in your 30s, and I won't divulge how deep you are into your 30s.
Okay.
You're between the ages of 30 and 39, and you have no kids. And society would tell us that that's not a great thing. But you know what? I'm going to stick up for my senior woman here.
Okay. We're going to run that back.
And again, I just want to reiterate real quick. I am in my 20s, somewhere between 20 and 29.
Okay. If you're going to out me for being in my 30s, you're at least going to clarify that I just turned 30.
Did you?
And that you are about to turn 30.
Did you turn 30 this year or last year?
That's not fair. My birthday is basically New Year's Eve. I am basically a 1994 baby, and you just need to accept that.
But then there are us 1994 babies, and we see you guys as imposters.
Okay. I'm gonna wrap this up because otherwise my PMS is gonna take over and you're not gonna like it. Anyways, we don't have kids, and this might get controversial. It's okay if we never have kids. I said it.
We may not.
We'll
Open
see.
to both.
Yep. So the winner is societal expectations.
Easily.
Okay.
Second semifinal, we have insecurities versus fighting. This is tough.
This is harder.
This is the one seed right here.
I agree. I think fighting might be my winner here.
Explain.
I think the more you learn about somebody's insecurities, the more you can help them overcome them, and the more you can learn to adjust certain things to be sensitive towards those. But if you're fighting in a toxic way, that's hard to overcome.
Agreed. I do think the more you learn about someone's insecurities, the more you're able to humanize them, see where they're coming from, empathize with their positions, and reason with them.
Right. Whereas when you're screaming at someone or throwing out curse words in a fight, that's hard to reason with, hard to unhear and unfeel later.
Yeah, there's not a lot of positives associated with negative fighting. So yeah. I think this is a brief one, yeah. Fighting, you are going to meet societal expectations in the negative final. Who you got?
I'm going to let you go first and help me fill out my bracket.
I think both are very negative, can potentially ruin a relationship. But which one can ruin a relationship more? I would say societal expectations can be overcome if the relationship's strong enough. But if you're fighting on a toxic level, there is nothing that can overcome that.
Yeah, I think it's external versus internal. Like, you can shut out the external things, I think, much easier than you can the internal things.
Yeah, you have far more control over how you react to the societal impacts. So I think my winner or loser is fighting.
Fighting for the win-lose. I don't know. Fighting is the worst of the worst.
Yes.
I think I had more fun doing this bracket than I'm going to have doing the NCAA bracket.
Are you kidding me? You yourself said you're excited for this.
I am. I get hyped just because I'm very empathetic. And so when I see teams really excited, high stakes, I get into it.
Plus you have rooting interest. You want your brackets to win. We're playing in a couple of groups.
I want to beat you.
And speaking of groups, we're going to start a bracket challenge for us and our followers.
Yep.
So if you want to join, it'll be in the description of this video. We'll also pin it as a comment as well.
Don't forget, also, like, subscribe, follow, give us a 5-star rating if you're on those podcast platforms.
If you like it.
Yes.
If this podcast was give it a 1.
Or just don't vote. Don't encourage that.
No, never mind.
But we hope you enjoyed it. Come back next Wednesday and see us again.
We'll see you then.
All right.
That's another episode of The Spoonful.
That was so corny.